So welcome. We're going to start by laying flat, and we'll take a minute to scan the body. And I like the image of my eyes being looking down from the ceiling on my own body, comparing the right side versus the left side, the pressure that my heels have on the ground, the right heel versus the left heel. Then go back up to the hip bones, and how is my right hip laying on the ground versus my left hip. With my eyes hanging from the ceiling, looking at myself down, can I see or sense or feel that one hip bone is higher away from the ground than the other? And then going up to the bony parts of the shoulders, the scapula. And again, how do they lay on the ground? The right shoulder blade versus the left shoulder blade. The bony part, it's kind of a flat bone called scapula. Is the right one touches the floor the same way that the left one? And if not, what is the difference? Which side is more comfortable? Which side calls my awareness? And then my elbows, the right one versus the left, do they lay in a certain way? Are they touching the ground? Are they not? Is one clearer in my mind's eye more than the other? And laying down and becoming aware like this, just taking few minutes, having the image of self in the brain a little bit more clearly, allows the brain to accept some changes that we might meet during the class. So as we go through the class, just be very aware, ask yourself questions internally, be curious about what we're doing and how you do it, and try to find more ways to do the tiny little things that we are talking about. It's not about doing it right, it's not about doing it beautifully, and it's not about doing it big. It's about learning how we do what we do and how to incorporate more of ourselves and be aware of it as we're doing it. That's what brings new learning, that's what brings new efficiency and ease to the movement. So with that, allow your eyes to shut down for a minute and notice if your head tilts to one side just a little bit. And try to bring it back to what you perceive as center. And let it go back to what's comfortable. It could be maybe a 1/16 of an inch. From where you are, bring your head back into what you perceive as center and let it go again to where you're comfortable with. And do it many times.
Can we dim the lights?
Can we dim the lights?
Yeah, switch.
So we're going to the center, what we perceive as center, and back to the comfortable place where the head is laying just in the way that it knows to be. And back to what you perceive as center, an outside teacher coming and say, hey, this is the central line of your body. Teacher knows what's right, what's wrong. And then your head goes back into what you feel comfortable with. And I'm inviting you to feel the difference between what an outside measurement is telling you to where your comfort zone is. And really get in touch with what does it take for your nervous system and your will to get in line with an outside knowing of what the middle line is, to what your body goes, this is where I want to be. We meet it every day with our needs to do things, with life. We have rules and regulations in how to brush teeth and how to hold the knife and the fork, with how to drive, with how to talk, to how to be in social all of that. So this is just a glimpse into that, coming into being in line with the outside world, to being true to yourself and being comfortable. How far do you have to take yourself to be part of society, to fit in, to be in the center line? Or another question, what things in your life created the deviation from center? Why are you comfortable where you in the place that you're comfortable? Is it a shoulder injury? Is it a neck injury? Is it something from the very, very far past? Is it a tilt that you have done to be cute when you were a little girl? And let it go. And introduce the possibility of having the same deviation to the opposite side. And notice if there is a resistance. And if I'm going to invite you to do that just amount the movement that you did to the first side, to do to the other side. And to notice if you are holding your breath, if your nervous system gets into some kind of an alert, if there's muscle tension building up and where. Can you continuously breathe as you're moving the head to that side and back to what perceived as center? Did the role change? Is moving outside of center feels more difficult than coming back to center? Is that side is completely different, opposite story than the other side? Or are you completely confused and you don't have a clue what I'm talking about? And it's just an interesting inquiry. And let it go. And have your eyes still shut if you're comfortable with that. And have them look straight up towards the ceiling with the lids closed. And then allow the eyes to slowly move in an arc like a rainbow on the ceiling to the side that you started with. Noticing the eye going down towards the ear on that side. And slowly roll the eyes back up to the center. Now, how far down towards the ear it goes, I couldn't care less. It can be very, very small, or it can be a large movement. Try not to create tension in the eyelid. Try to have the eyeball roll in a liquid pool in the eye socket, touching, not touching the lid, being very, very soft, very loving, very gentle. And notice if the eye movement is also taking your head with it. So now, instead of letting the head go naturally into that place where you're comfortable, the eyes are leading the movement. They're suggesting, they're taking us to the place that we want to see. Again, your lids are shut. It's the internal initiation, the beginning of a movement. I'm taking you back historically far, 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 where you have to see to where you're going. To be able to turn your head, you have to move the eyes. Those are your telescopes. And that takes the head with it, if you don't resist it. Is your head becoming softer and the muscles are more pliable? Maybe like a margarine, butter, actually better. How does your eye feel in the eye socket? Is there enough lubrication to glide the eyeball? Don't try to move the head because that's the exercise. Allow it to happen if it happens. And then allow the eyes to come back up to the center of the ceiling and see if that rolls your head back to center. And allow the class not to be about big achievements, but big exploration, big curiosity. And come back to the center and rest for a minute. And just be aware of the sensation inside your head between the right side versus the left side. Today's class was meant for specific two people, and both of them are not here today, which is amazing how it works. We're going to go to the other side, and that side is the side that was maybe a little bit harder for you, and there was a little bit more holding and resisting. So before we even start movement, I would invite you to just imagine the eyes looking up towards the ceiling, and imagine the eyes moving down towards that side, down towards that ear. Just imagine it in your mind's eye before you do it. And then come back with the eyes in your imagination. And again, just imagine the eyes going down and allowing the head to follow suit. And then come back with the eyes in your imagination and allow the head to come back to center. And only when you're ready, when you feel that your nervous system is quiet enough, invite the closed eyes to roll to that side that you're going towards. Relaxing your tongue, relaxing inside your cheekbones, relaxing the bones, allowing the eye to swim, to roll in the pool of liquid in your eyeballs, and softening that side so it feels comfortable and safe, so the head will want to move with the eyes. Treat this class as a gift rather than as a chore. A gift for your nervous system to find an integration with the movement. And then when you're ready to come up, the eyeballs will roll in the pool of liquid up towards the ceiling, taking the head back with it. One of the ways to know if you're working too hard is to see if you stopped breathing, if you're holding your breath, even for a smidge second. When you're ready, keep on rolling to that side, do it a few more times. Notice the bumpiness on your head and see if those bumps are slowly starting to melt and soften. And if the boniness of your bones are less bony. The tempo that you're going back and forth is up to you. But try to listen to your nervous system and do what fits your nervous system. We're all really very much individuals. And the tempo that fits you does not fit me. And vice versa. I'll give you an example. When I walk down the street or in the park, I tend to walk very energetically and fast. But when I pay attention to my movement, I slow down to almost nothing. So I can be quiet enough and in touch enough with my nervous system to try to make it all one. And when I find the all one, it's a very, very deep place. Where life just streams peacefully. And when you're ready, try to go from the center to the first side and from the center to the second side, and see if you can, the eyeballs can roll your head from side to side. Do you still have bumps? Do you still have places where your nervous system goes, uh-oh, pay attention. And if so, maybe you can move your head just a smidge, or your eyes just a smidge up or down, and find a way around that. With your inner knowing of self and the trajectory of the eyeballs and the location that you're laying on your head, can you make it smoother and smoother from right to left through the center and from left to right through the center? Are your lips relaxed? Is your tongue relaxed? Are your cheekbones relaxed? Those are all muscles. Is your neck relaxed? And without stopping, the next time that you go to the right, roll your right hand with the thumb going towards the floor. And when you go from the center to the left, allow your left hand to roll so your left thumb is going down towards the floor. Just enough to feel the rotation of the hand, the wrist, the elbow, maybe up to the shoulder. And if you do feel it all the way up to the shoulder, can you feel the shoulder blade moving just tiny little bit to go flatter towards the floor? And if you did have your eyes closed until now, go ahead and open them and start seeing the journey up the ceiling, down towards the wall, until your eyes maybe see the hand in the periphery of your vision. So the arms are spread a little bit away from your body. They're halfway between your body and your shoulders. And your eyes are traveling from the ceiling down towards the floor. They don't have to reach the floor, but down towards the floor. As your hands are rotating outward, so the thumb is going towards the floor as your head is rolling. And can you find the coordination between the rolling of the hand and the head? So the arm is rolling outwardly as the head comes towards the floor. The rotation is outwardly as you come towards the floor with your head. And then the hand relaxes. And then it rolls outwardly, outwardly, outwardly. That's an outward, yeah. And see if you can make the rolling of the arm and the hand and the wrist with the least amount of muscles. So it's not work. There is a relationship between the rolling of the eyes and the head and the rolling of the hand. But it's not only the hand. It's the wrist and the forearm and the arm and the shoulder blade. But it's very small and it's very soft. And keep on doing it from side to side until you find the softness, the liquidness of the movement. Then go ahead and rest in the center and lengthen your legs, and go ahead and have your legs hip width apart. And rest there for a second or two. Maybe ask yourself again, how does my head feel? Where is the center now? Is my center and the teacher center are closer to one another? And I'm going to invite you to roll your head, to keep your legs the way they are right now, and keep on rolling the eyes from the right back to center and to the left, and allowing the hands to move. Wait, before you do, let me explain it again. Allow the hands to, maybe the thumbs to be pointing up towards the ceiling. And as you go towards the right, the thumb goes to the right. And as you go to the left thumb will go to the left. So you keep the thumbs up towards the ceiling, and when the right one goes towards the floor to the right, the left one will go towards my body a little bit. So there's a rotation. Am I clear? That's a question.
I think so.
Okay, so the thumbs are pointing up towards the ceiling to start with. When my right thumb goes to the outside of my body and my head is turning to the right, my left thumb will be rotating inwardly just a little bit. And then I'll come back to the center and my thumbs will be up towards the ceiling. My head will roll to the left, my left thumb will go towards the floor, and my right thumb now will go a little bit in towards the body. So both thumbs are moving at the same time. One goes out and one goes in. As the eye goes up towards the ceiling, the thumbs go up towards the ceiling. And now relax the thumbs and just allow that movement of the hand and the wrist and the shoulders to go from side to side. So when I go to the right, the right hand palm up and the left hand palm down. And when I roll to the left, my left hand palm is up and my right palm is down. Beautiful. And now that you have the movement of the hand, see if you can feel it all the way through your shoulder blades. And since I asked you to have your legs lengthened, when you're rolling to the left and the left palm is up, does your left knee wants to bend a little bit? Allow the left knee to bend. because your whole body is rotating now towards the left. Come back to center and the knee lengthens. Roll the eyes to the right. The right hand rolls palms up, the left hand rolls palms down, and the right knee bends just a little bit, going towards the floor. And when you come back to center, the legs lengthens. So we will allowing the pelvis to roll with the eyes. I'll say it again. The eyes are going through the ceiling down towards the left, and the left hip is going a little bit to the left, allowing the left knee to bend. As the eyes go up towards the ceiling and rolling towards the right palm will be up, the left palm will be down. My right hip will go a little bit closer to the floor and my right knee will bend. And then you find the relationship between the right side and the left, and you go from side to side. From side to side. See if you can find the softness in the knees and the relationship between. So when you're rolling with the head to this side, this knee will be the one to go to that side. And then when you go to the other side, there. And then you go to that side. And you just kind of try to find the connection through the spine between the head and the hip, between the rolling of the arms to the rolling of the legs. You can rest whenever you need to, whenever your body is telling you to stop and rest. Go ahead and come to the center and rest for a sec. On the next movement, we're going to allow the eyes to roll to the side that you are comfortable with to begin with. Roll the arm and roll the knee, and then allow the knee to draw up towards your hip, to come up, to curl you to the side. And then you're going to lengthen the other leg, the other side, and you're going to lower that leg to go back to laying down flat. So you're going to roll the eyes to the side that you are comfortable with. You're going to roll the arm and the leg to that side, and you're going to keep on drawing the knees up towards you to a fetal position until you're laying on your side. And then you take the upper leg and you stretch it out, and you find your way to rolling back to the floor. And then again, the eyes are rolling on the ceiling and down towards the floor, rolling the arm, the hand, the arm, the knees, and you're coming up to a fetal position. See if you can remember, if your nervous system remembers that the eyes are starting the movement, that it brings the rotation of the arm, that it brings the rotation of the legs, and only then comes the drawing of the knees to a fetal position. Are you able to do the movement without stopping the breath and the ease, even though there is more muscle work to get up to this position? And when you're ready to try the other side, roll the eyes to the other side, roll the hand, the arm, the knees, and draw your legs up towards the side to a fetal position. And then take your upper leg and stretch it and come back in the same way that you came to this position. The eyes are rolling on the ceiling, pulling the rotation of the arm, the legs. Do it again to this side, starting from the eyes. See if you can notice and be aware of how you're doing it. And then go immediately to the other side. So we go rolling from a fetal position on the right, through the floor to a fetal position on the left. And you're going from side to side. Notice if your arm wants to come with it. When you get to the fetal position, do you want to bring your back arm to it? Are you bending only one leg or are you bending both knees? A fetal position is with both legs, right? And the next time you come to the side that you are comfortable with, bring your back arm, drag it over your body and put it in front of you. Look down and push yourself up to sitting position. Then bring your hand back down and roll back to the floor. Again, let's do it to the other side. Roll the eyes up on the ceiling to the side towards the ear. Roll yourself to a fetal position. Bring the back arm, drag it over your body and put it in front of your chest. Bring your eyes down to the floor and push yourself up to sitting. Put your hand back down on the floor and bring the eyes to the floor and roll back to laying down. Again to the first side. Eyes rolling down to the floor, through the ceiling. You come into a fetal position. The back arm is being kind of dragged. You put it in front of your chest, next to the shoulder. You turn your eyes down towards the floor. Look at the floor and push with the hand that you just brought with you and come up to a sitting. And then put the hand back down. Look at the floor. Seriously, look at the floor. Maybe next week we're going to do this part a little bit more in details and come back to the laying down. Let's do the other side. Eyes go down on the from the ceiling towards the floor. Shoulder blades get closer to the floor. Hands are rotating in and out as we did before. Knees are being dragged up. Bring the upper arm over your body and put it next to the shoulder. Turn your head and look down at the floor. As you want to come up, you push the hand into the floor and you lengthen the upper leg so you can get up. From the side. And then put the hand back to the floor, look at the floor, turn the head and look at the floor. Slowly bring your shoulder down and roll yourself back to the floor. Let's do it one more time. Eyes on the ceiling, down towards the floor. Hands are rolling out and in. Don't forget the rolling of the hands out and in before you bring your knees up. Bring your hand from behind. Put it next to your shoulder. Now turn your head and look at the floor. When you want to get up, the pushing of the hand and the straightening of the leg, the upper leg, are together. And come from the side up. And then put your hand back down, look at the floor, gently put your shoulder down and roll. And we have time for one more side. Eyes are rolling from the ceiling down and the hands are rolling in and out as the knees are turning in and out and drawn towards you into a fetal position. The hand is being dragged over the body. Place it next to your shoulder. Turn your head, look down and push with the hand and lengthen the leg. And come up to a seated position. Hallelujah.